Hey guys, Car Guy V8 here, standing right in front of the dadgum sun. Hold on, let me move. Showing y'all today my 1989 Chevrolet GMT 400 C1500. Well, I've had this truck for about a year now. If you've watched my channel, then you've seen this truck before, but now it's officially time to start on the project. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of it. If you haven't seen the truck, if you have seen it, it has been probably 6 months since I've shown it in a video. But let's take a look at this truck. It's a single cab, short wheelbase truck from '89. So these are getting more sought after as the day goes by. Whenever I bought this truck back in, I guess it was 2020, it would have been the summer of 2020. I found an incredible deal on it. Believe it or not, I paid $1,500 for this running, driving, single cab truck. 5-speed manual, 305 V8. It was actually carbureted with an Edelbrock 600 CFM 1405 carburetor. The interior is actually pretty nice. Pardon the pollen and dirt and stuff. This truck has not been cleaned for a long time because it really honestly just sits as of right now because it has a few problems with it. I'll tell y'all what they are, and I'm going to be diagnosing them in this series. 5-speed manual. This is a very smooth shifting 5-speed. Has a little gauge cluster down here that the oil pressure works. So does the temperature gauge. The amp gauge actually does not. The voltage gauge. Lights work on them and all. Up here, I believe that, yeah, the voltage works up here, so they may not have actually hooked that one up. I haven't checked the wiring yet. The temp gauge up here does not work, neither does the oil gauge, but they definitely do work down there. Let me pop the hood and show y'all up underneath. You can see originally it was this bluish color, but they spray painted it black, and honestly, I'm a fan of it. I think for a $1,500 truck that you're just turning into a muscle truck, I think that paint is ideal. I would not change it. These wheels were not on it. Whenever I bought the truck, I actually found those wheels from a local guy, and I put the tires on an HP 4000s. So here's the heart of the beast. A 170 horsepower 305 with the stock exhaust manifolds. The Edelbrock 600, you can see it up under there. Even as the stupid EGR. You can see the wiring harness. A lot of the wires are just still thrown up there. I've seriously put maybe 100 miles on this truck since I've had it, so I've not done a whole lot. But now that I have my own place and my own garage, this is the next project. So, we'll talk more about what's wrong with it real quick. Basically, it idles terribly. It has some kind of misfire. I'm leaning towards a blown head gasket, but it doesn't always smoke. So, we'll see what it is. I'm about to run a compression test across all 8 cylinders. It's got pretty fresh plugs in it, fairly fresh plugs. I put them in before I drove it over here, but they may already be fouled out. That may be why it's idling so rough again. I think the deadly flaw I did was back when I first got it, I didn't know a whole lot about carburetors, so I adjusted the idle because he had it idling high because they never hooked up the choke. And so he had it idling high, so it would start on a cold start every time. By the time it was warmed up, it would be idling like 1100 RPM. I don't have a tack yet, but that's in a future episode as well. We'll put a tack in. But basically, so I idled it down so it would idle better whenever warm. And, you know, the caveat would be I'd have to hold down the gas pedal. I think I used that word right. I'm not an English master or anything like that. But I adjusted the idle, and I did not adjust the idle mixture screws. So I left them where they were. I didn't know about that at the time. So it was probably running pig rich on idle. So that could be a reason the plugs are fouled as well. But we'll get into all of that in a future episode. I'll get this thing running properly. I've already actually got my eyes on a 350 from a '69 Camaro that's already got a camshaft in it. and stuff like that. I actually just put this battery on last week, I want to say. Yeah, last week. So it's ready. It won't start right now without putting starter fluid in it or anything like that, so I won't start it in this episode. I've got other videos of it running that you can check those out if you want to see that. Let me lock that door. But guys, this is the 89 C1500 truck, and it really doesn't have any body damage that I've found. I think it has a tiny bit on the door. Even the tailgate is really in great condition. Let me see if I can find the piece. It's the little bit of damage on the door. It's under certain lot, and it may just be the lotting. I've seen it at one point, but right now I can't really see it. So yeah, I mean, this truck's nice. A little bit of trim's missing on the door. It's got the work truck front end. But guys, I'm looking forward to this build series. I bought this truck originally planning to just make it a daily driver, but then I realized its body's actually straighter than my daily driver at the time. So then that would just stay the daily driver. This became the project. But that's how it goes in the car world. You get something you plan to drive, or wait, that's way better than what I have already. So you let it sit. But guys, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the video and look forward to this series. The updates may not be regular, like maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, just depending on what I'm doing at the time. But let's get on to this series, guys. Oh, last thing. Let's come up with a name for it too. I'm not good at naming vehicles. That's why none of mine have ever had a name. But since I want this to be a channel vehicle, let's name it.